When Jimmy Swaggart steps onto the pulpit, people all over the world pay attention. Known for his fiery preaching, he usually directs his words at sin and the brokenness of the world, but this time his target was not society at large, it was another preacher. In a shocking turn, Swaggart aimed his rebuke at Prophet Brian Carn, accusing him of misleading believers and going so far as to say he was playing with people's souls. This bold attack immediately stirred conversation across the Christian community, sparking debate over whether Swaggart was exposing something dangerous in modern-day prophecy or whether this was simply a clash between two very different generations of church leaders. What made this situation so explosive is not just the words themselves but the reputations of the men involved. Swaggart, who has been a recognizable voice in Pentecostal and evangelical circles for decades, carries the weight of experience, history, and credibility. Now 88 years old, he has lived through great ministry success and painful controversy, yet rebuilt his platform by committing to uncompromising truth as he sees it. In contrast, Prophet Brian Carn represents a younger wave of preachers who thrive on charisma, energy, and bold declarations of prophecy. His conferences, live streams, and growing online presence have made him a beloved figure to many who see him as a prophetic voice for this generation. But his critics argue that his words have not always proven consistent, calling into question whether his prophecies are authentic. When Swaggart warned him that he was playing with people's souls, it wasn't just a personal insult, it was a direct challenge to the legitimacy of his ministry. The moment Swaggart spoke, his sermon clip spread rapidly online. He didn't sugarcoat his thoughts, accusing Brian Carn of deception and warning that prophecies which do not align with Scripture or fail to come true are not from God but from another spirit altogether. His words carried the weight of his decades-long ministry, and he emphasized that ministers are called to preach the gospel of Christ in truth, not to put on shows or manipulate desperation. Swaggart broadened his critique to address the entire prophetic movement, warning that many so-called prophets were leading people astray and likening their practices to fortune-telling under a Christian mask. His audience had mixed reactions, some praised him for boldly speaking truth, while others accused him of going too far by tearing down another minister in public. But what no one expected was that Brian Carn would strike back quickly and with equal intensity. Within days, Prophet Brian Carn's fiery response appeared across social media platforms. Speaking before his congregation and to his online following, he defended his ministry and the prophetic movement as a whole. For a family known for polished television moments and carefully controlled images, this was something completely different. Donnie didn't stop with admitting his personal pain. He hinted at deeper truths that had never been spoken openly, struggles inside the ministry, sacrifices he had been forced to make, and conflicts that went far beyond what the public had seen. He didn't reveal everything, but he said just enough to spark questions about what has really been happening behind closed doors. And before closing his Bible, he left the audience with one final cryptic statement: "You'll understand why I said this soon." Those words have since fueled endless speculation. Some believe he was preparing to reveal hidden truths about the ministry, while others think it was simply the desperate cry of a man weighed down by expectations and unhealed wounds. Reactions were mixed. Many supporters flooded social media with prayers and encouragement, praising him for being transparent and calling his breakdown one of the most authentic moments they had ever seen from the Swaggart family. Others, however, accused him of using emotion to distract from larger issues within the ministry and even suggested that he might be hinting at scandals yet to come. Whatever the truth may be, what is certain is that this was no ordinary sermon. It was a turning point in Donnie's life and possibly for the entire Swaggart legacy. For decades, the family name has been tied to both revival and scandal, to faith and failure. Donnie's breakdown showed just how deeply the scars of that history still remain. Whether he was hinting at new revelations or simply opening his heart to the world, his words left an impact that cannot be ignored. The confession, the vulnerability, and the mystery of what comes next have made it clear that the Swaggart story is far from over.